I would rather it be
Why
more.
are these circumstances regretful?
Because I don't know. I feel like it's not the. It's kind of we're we're kind of on opposite sides of the spectrum when it comes to this regard. So I don't.
Dubly got wait, huh? Dubly's not from the US, he from Europe. 2 times speed, you are right. Why did I do that? Where's the playback speed? Well, I can't do 2 times. I'm gonna do 1 point. Nah, I gotta do 1.5.
No, we can have a cordial conversation. I'm just
I
the
mean,
way laid out on
I got
Twitter.
into this game knowing I would have people disagreeing with me. So I mean,
Okay, that's
this
cool.
to me
That's
is the
cool.
best time to be meeting.
Okay, he on hots already, I could tell.
Yeah,
Um,
cool. I just it's hard to retone like from Twitter comments. That's what I'm saying. So
okay.
yeah.
Well, anyway, you recently came out with a video that was
Nigga said anyway, yeah, it's over.
very much in reference to me on your YouTube channel. That was titled "How Political Correctness Ruined Art."
Yeah, cringy
And
title, by the way. I'll
well,
just throw that out there right away.
I mean, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. There's certain shit I can't even hear. Let me go down a little bit.
Um, so
Cringy
and
title, by the way. I'll
well,
just throw that out there right away.
Don't do that, bro. I'm sorry. We're not gonna get through much of this because I'm gonna keep pausing. Oh my god. What? Don't downplay your content in front of other people. Just stand on that shit. I said what I said. That's my title. I meant that shit. Not what, bitch, nigga. That's what I would have said.
I mean, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
So that's your video.
I don't
Also,
take shit
recently,
back.
and kind of the lead up to this conversation that we're having right now, you sent me a message saying, that you love what I do, you have respect for me and what I do, but I'm part of
Yeah.
the problem. That was like literally
Yes.
kind of what you said.
Yeah.
To sort of kind of give you the floor off the bat, do you want to tell me and the audience what you perceive as the problem that I'm like contributing to, and just like kind of lay that out, and then we can kind of start from there.
Sure. I think the biggest problem and probably the point of my video, I hate this polarization that we're living in right now, the political divide that's present at this moment. And I think I don't know, tackling these top.
Like, I don't know, hearing it immediately. Okay, so here's the thing, right? I feel like to sum up, because I know where this is going. And this is why I get tired. This is why you get tired instantly. It becomes a drag. You don't even want to engage with the conversation no more. Because what are you talking about? No, I get it too. Don't get me wrong. I get what you're saying. But there has been like this idea, right, that people that are more left leaning, right, need to be more open minded and more engaging with ideas that they might not adhere to make people feel more comfortable talking to them. But when you've heard like the same talking points like over and over, and it's not new, this is the same shit I've been hearing since like early 2010s. We are halfway into the 2020s almost. When you hear it so many times, it's like, I gotta wait for you to get to the point that I already know that you're about to say, just so I can say the same thing to you that I said to the last nigga that said the exact same shit from 2-3 years ago. Like, the perspective that you have is not new at all. And you arguing it like, oh, this is some newfound knowledge. I'm about to put niggas onto the perspective that has never been said before. It's been said.
A lot of aggression and a lot of conviction. I understand where you're coming from. You've been doing this for a long time. I understand it's probably fucking tough for you. Like, I have seen all the haters and all the people.
Listen. I'm not having a tough time. I'm fine.
Okay, cool,
Like,
cool. I just
okay. Is the polarization the problem to sort of like get to the?
yes, and really okay. Let me just finish.
Okay.
Encouraging and doubling down on that polarization, with aggressive comments and even I don't know. Let me read a tweet. This is the tweet you wait. I don't know. I'll just quote it. Like
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Just tell me what I said generally. I'll tell you.
When you make a think piece, but you can't think.
Right.
Okay, how should I feel about that?
What the fuck? Come on, dog. You basically you got like your tweet hurt my feelings. Why are we talking about a tweet? Like, bro, come on now, dude. It's not. It's like if this is gonna be the area at which you're critiquing somebody, like you don't like the way I said something, so like you're gonna dismiss what I actually said because of the way it came off to you versus the person that you're probably defending here that said objectively worse and more harmful things. Are we about to get into this like J. Cole-esque no-name territory where I understand what you're saying, I just don't like how you're saying it? and to a degree, I could understand somebody like J. Cole saying something like that. You are obviously going to receive more people or have more people open to your message when you soften it a bit or when you're not as confrontational or as aggressive with it. But should that be the responsibility solely on the people that have the information and none be on the people who are seeking it? If you're genuinely a seeker of the information, I feel like there is some level of compassion that you're going to give to people that have been asked or accosted with the same thing mad times. I'm not going to get butthurt if I see somebody a bit more aggressive, if I ask them, well, what are the dangers that your potential, like your group specific, what are the dangers that they face? And it's just something, it's an easy Google or some shit like that. Like, I'm asking you some shit that I could find out in literally 0.3 seconds if I literally just took the time to say, do I want to bother somebody with this or do I just want to remain ignorant to it the whole time? I'm just because what do you expect people to do? Just kindly just act as a teacher to you your whole life and you a grown man? I don't get that. You are a fully grown adult capable of researching everything that you look into. And you're upset at a nigga tone that doesn't I just feel like we end up getting mad at the wrong thing and you focus on this instead of this. But I do agree that if you alter your tone a little bit, you can grab more people, sure. That's fair.
How should you, well, I mean, it's definitely...
That shouldn't be the main point though.
Making fun of your video, yeah. I mean, do you
Okay.
want to know why I would say something like that, or...
Okay, sure.
I just feel like you made a lot of terrible points throughout the video. I'm having a hard time sort of seeing how you feel polarization is necessarily the issue here because, I mean, you've said and contributed to polarization in your video in your own way. I mean, let me just kind of pull this out of the closet and get a little direct here. I mean,
Okay.
This is kind of a different position you're taking here now that we're sort of on stream than you are in the video. In the video, you say very bluntly,
Okay.
the problem, the greater problem here is that you feel like there is an absolute inability to give shitty people any sort of recognition. Is that the problem that we're kind of facing societally right now?
I think it's more about claiming to be an activist while having counterintuitive actions. What do you need people to be perfect to go against certain ideas?
Jump to 3300. This made me laugh for a good minute. Probably the best part of this whole video.
Yeah, am I missing? I don't think I'll be missing a good portion of this. Depending, not perfect, but it's a space for criticism. I mean, yeah, you can critique things, but like, why does that matter? Like, why? What is the relevance to somebody critiquing it? That like the way you came off is just makes it feel like you shouldn't do shit if you've done shit. If that makes any sense. Like if you've done shit that's wrong, you shouldn't do anything to improve what's wrong. Is the perspective you sound like you're taking right now.
Pictures of teen girls, right? Let's say that...
Oh my... How do we get here?
Guy, let's say that fucking guy, because he's mad he can't do that on Twitch, starts his own kick. Does that not then in your mind create an argument, well, maybe we should be more lenient about this stuff because he went up...
point and Fantano shot it down. Like, why would MLK stop trying to improve racial equality because he cheated on his wife?
He said
That's
that?
insane.
There's no way he said that. Oh, that's funny.
He often created his own platform anyway. No, that doesn't make it okay. That doesn't mean that we should start having a softer approach with that shit.
The demand for a site such as that would be much lower if you were just to ban extremist people who are actually like extremely directly harmful to society, like Nick Fuentes, like Alex Jones, than if you were to like ban people like, I don't know, Ben Shapiro. Like
nobody's banning Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, when did Ben Shapiro get banned? He making it seem like there's this crusade against red pill or right-wing content. Is still very much so alive and thriving, even on YouTube. It might not be as monetizable or as profitable, I don't know, but it's doing just fine, like almost everywhere.
Okay, or
even trying to. I mean, as noxious as Ben Shapiro is,
Destiny.
But the thing is, like, the thing is, Destiny, in some of his worst moments, has advocated for and voiced very loudly some pretty heinous and violent shit.
Like what?
Oh, wow. It would be a really stupid idea to repeat it on my stream right now, which I don't want to get banned from. So I'm not going to walk into that fucking rake, you moron.
It's just like, why? When do we get here though? It's like,
Like you can go and look it up.
I mean, maybe the way that this type of shit comes off, I think maybe he might think that there's some type of connection between people who make content like this and people who watch Destiny. It might just be his assumption. So maybe he shouldn't have brought it up. I don't know. But I don't know what he'd be talking about either. I don't watch Destiny, so I wouldn't know.
Don't hold on though.
No. I'm making.
He said, "Hold on, wait, no, you can't, no."
Point here. You're conflating moderate points of view with extremism. I'm telling you that. Listen,
So
it does. Yes, it does.
That's insane.
No, it's not, because here's my fucking point. Here's my point. And you're not listening to it. And you're not putting two and two together.
Damn.
The reason he's an extremist, it's not because I think his political points are
Hold
so
it,
far outside
Buster,
the
got
window
it.
that they can't be considered. Let's say a moderate position on, give me the most moderate Destiny position that you can think of.
Okay, I don't care about Destiny.
All right? That's not the open murder. So
Okay,
that's
I
not
find that
that's
hard to
that's
believe. I find that
that's
hard to
that's an
believe.
example. There's literally
He's really got to convince him of this.
And not even necessarily for political points. It was like, I don't know, a nip slip or something like that. It was. How
How do you get here from asking about Kanye West? I don't understand. I feel like people just took the shit that he said like way too deep and tried to link it to so many other things that it has like obviously parallels to but no direct connection to. Why the fuck are y'all talking about Destiny from Kanye West? I get that there's parallels in all of this, but like making like politicizing, I guess, the sentiment that you shouldn't be anti-Semitic is just crazy to me. Why we have to get into a political conversation based off of a moral obligation against, or what should be a moral obligation against bigotry, I don't know. Why do you think that has to be a controversial thing? I don't know. I don't know how you get here. I don't. And this is the thing that you end up getting into. Like, you have a conversation with someone who doesn't want to be informed, but they want to argue. How do you argue when you don't know what you're talking about? Against a Drake hater, felt fun. This seems lame. Yeah, I saw that somebody linked that one to me too. The Los Polos one, where they're just arguing opinions. That's fun. That's funny. That's stupid. It's funny. Like, they're not. It's not taken so seriously. This is like, why would you say Kanye is wrong for being anti-Semitic? You don't see how that has a connection to this. Like, why would you say anything if you're not perfect? Like, what? What do you mean? Well, Los from what I understand, Los not like taking him so serious. He's not that deep in.
I swear debate videos are the worst types of videos cause IT does nothing and no one ever tries to change.
I don't like debate content generally because it trivializes the overall issue of whatever people are talking about or what they're debating about, and makes it more of a, no, I'm right and you're wrong situation. Like, it's not about that. I don't like seeing, for instance, like white folks debate on black issues, which I've seen happen a lot on spaces like Twitch or on places like YouTube, where they'll go into these like super specific scenarios, having zero experience or ties to what they're talking about, and it devolves into you're wrong, I'm right rhetoric, as opposed to talking about the situation. And their fan base, their audience, they do the same thing. They make it about, no, this is my streamer, no, this one's right, no, this one's right. I hate this about like political or politicized commentary in any regard, because it's like, dude, you know that the people you're talking about aren't like pawns on a chessboard. Like, they're real. They're not like, what do you call those things? They're not like debate bro tactics or gotcha moments. They're like real life people. And y'all are treating this like, oh yeah, this guy made a great point here about this. What about the people he's talking about? I get it. You got to talk about people. I understand. But it trivializes the overall issue to levels or strong levels of uncomfortability for me, to a point of being unwatchable. I can't even consume that. Why would you do that to yourself? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sure there's people that enjoy it that want to be debaters in the future or something like
Debates
that,
have
but
become people engaging
I don't like
to
that.
respond instead of understanding and taking each other's opinions into perspective.
Yeah, but that's from people that want to have the conversation.
Oh
It's
my
very
God, I
rarely
just
that.
realized.
Huge demand for this alternative platform.
Listen.
Small
I'm gonna hit a bit of a reset button here because I'm more interested in some of your opinions here about like art and what you said in your video. To be honest,
All right.
I feel like we've gotten into the weeds of insanity here a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just want to like ask you here to kind of get to, because I see a lot of what you're saying in this video as kind of like an analog for a lot of Kanye fans feel around my Vultures One review and how people feel about the record generally in kind of a negative way. And you seem to, again, kind of like take issue with this idea that, he's not being given credit despite the fact that he's a generational artist, and and you yourself acknowledge he said bad things and he's gone too far. And
the links in the description also said he's directly contributing to the rising number.
no, I'm not denying any of that. You've acknowledged that he's done and said bad things. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to understand from your point of view is like, to what extent in your mind do we like owe it to the art or owe it to the artist to acknowledge what we perceive to be their greatness, their artistry, their whatever, regardless of how bad they or the messaging in the artist is, or the messaging in the art is? Because hypothetically, let's say like, I don't know, there was like, I run a YouTube channel, I review music, and I stumble across what's possibly the most racist band ever. Their content is even full of like violent imagery and advocating for like, hanging people, so on and so forth. But you know what, the production goes hard, and that Peggy beat on the record is insane. Like, do I owe it to the album to like talk about it and praise it and whatever just because like I think it sounds kind of good?
That's an instance of where the problematic opinions are in the art. So that's.
But Kanye trivializing anti-Semitism and saying that he's not racist, he just has a preference and says that his wife is a reference.
You don't think that's a slippery slope?
Well, wait a second.
Huh?
You don't think trivializing anti-Semitism and kind of laughing off his anti-Semitic comments as if they aren't anti-Semitic is not going too far? After he said, "I'm a Nazi and I love Hitler,"
like
and so on
talking
and so
about
forth.
murdering people and hanging people, I think it's.
Well, yeah, okay.
It's just like you don't have a way in, bro. Like, how do you tell you telling a nigga to watch their tone as they're explaining to you how things grow and fester, while you basically get to take the position that it's not as bad as it could have been? Where do I go with a person? Like, how do I get anywhere with this? It's like this dude doesn't believe that, like, it's like he thinks that racism starts at like its hot, at like its peak, and unless you do a hate crime, you're not truly racist. You're not truly a bigot or something like that. Like, everybody starts off at Hitler basically in his mind or something like that, and they don't have a growth phase. They don't like have a seed planted in them that begins to start stereotypes and go through little by little how we get to this place and how we get to this stereotype and how this group of people gets blocked out from here. No, it's just unless it's the extremist, most worst racist act that you could think of, like, I'm not entertaining the fact that it is a problem within the music. I don't get that. Like, do you not realize that it starts somewhere? Or
okay, which I think is fair to an extent. I just want to understand like where the border is. Like, how much racial hatred and anti-Semitism on a song or a record is too much for you? Like, if it's just one bar, is it okay? If it's just the chorus and the verses don't have it in there, like, can we let it slide?
I don't interpret any of his bars to be directly anti-Semitic. They may be referring to other people labeling him as anti-Semitic, and I don't want to be put in a position where I'm defending a fucking Nazi. Okay.
I mean, that's what you're doing. So, like, do I say it's okay? I'm not gonna make you feel better about the position that you're taking. Like, why do you want somebody else who's against your position to try to make you? They gotta cushion you for the position that you're taking, but you also get to not stand on the position that you're taking. Like, that's just what it is. What do you don't get to stand on both sides? Like, no, I'm not saying he's right, but like, is he wrong though? But I'm not saying he's not wrong, but I'm not saying that he's right either. But I'm not saying that, like, give me some wiggle room. No, you gotta like stand on some shit. I'm not saying that I respect Ye or his position, but I at least know where he's coming from. I know what I'm getting. You feel me? If I hear his music and I hear something crazy in it, I'm not surprised. Niggas like this don't want to take a position. And then they like, oh, well, how could you say that about me? This is what you're advocating for. You're standing in this circle and asking not to be seen in that circle.
I'm not defending Kanye in any way, but the point being is that like it's a big difference. You can't conflate the two. Like I have his bars written down actually.
Well, again, specifically, I'm not trying to say they're exactly the same. I'm trying to understand for you personally how far is too far, and what I'm guessing is. Again, Kanye saying in light of the anti-Semitic comments that he's made, and as you said, contributing maybe to this greater flow of hate crimes against Jews, laughing that off, saying like, yeah, man, I keep a few Jews on the staff. Yeah, man, I'm crazy and bipolar and anti-Semitic. Ha ha ha. Being like, oh, how could you say I'm anti-Semitic? I just fucked a Jewish bitch. Bah, 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 bah. Like, obviously for you, that's not too far. How much further than that could you go to where you're just like, okay, man, he's actually doing too much.
Thoughts on Fantano glazing you on Twitter a few days ago?
I didn't see it. I still don't know what he said, but somebody said it was in reference to me being beautiful, which I agree.
Genuine question.
Okay,
why do you think Kanye didn't get this level of backlash when he said the 400 years stuff and when he was openly supporting Trump? From what I remember, a lot of people either didn't care or looked past it pretty easily.
I don't think it was looked past pretty easily. I think that a lot of it is rooted somewhat within like racial ideology, and some people feeling like Kanye had more of a right to say that about black people given that he's black. But it wasn't flat out almost denying that it happened and for what purpose. It was just really shitty takes about black people for the most part. It's not really always about Kanye himself. It's more so about the people that co-sign him, the ones that are of sound enough mind to go get the information but refuse to push whatever narratives and agendas that they have. You feel me? Would old Sean review vultures? Probably. I don't know how old Sean you mean though. Old Sean to like, if you ask an 18-year-old Sean, probably. And again, you could say that, black people are the butt of the joke. I'm not saying that they're not, but Kanye didn't come off like a hater of black people, even though his takes were extremely ignorant and misguided and were just flat out wrong. The anti-Semitic shit, he's very clearly, trying to make it so you understand that this group, I perceive them to have all the power. I perceive them to be in control of everything. These are dangerous people. You shouldn't be around them. And Maya, I'm not saying that you're wrong. But the shit that he said wasn't indicative of something that I would say is that should make people feel like, oh yeah, he hates black people. I wouldn't say that about him. It just didn't come off the same way. It just didn't. You feel like Fantano, his argument falls short. You can't listen to his music. I don't think he ever said that. When he's listened to and reviewed Nazi music before, I think it's important to critically analyze Kanye's music, especially during these times. That's fair. I don't know who you might be referring to. I'm sure it probably exists. He's probably reviewed too much shit to not review somebody that's at the very least on the same level as some of the shit that Kanye said. I don't think that means that he holds the position. Like, if you asked him, like somebody else just said, would old Sean listen to Kanye? And I told you, yes, old Sean probably would have. If you asked him, you probably get the same response. If old Fantano would re-review whoever you're talking about that was a Nazi, he'd probably say, nah, I probably wouldn't. I could see if this was like maybe a week or two ago, like a month ago, making it seem like somebody's being inconsistent because they grew from a perspective that they once had. I don't think is a fair assessment of just naturally coming into new information or naturally coming into a new perspective or growing your own. I don't think it's really fair to do that. Like, I wouldn't take the opinions of some white kid about black people seriously, of them saying stupid shit on Reddit or Twitter, and they made those comments when they were 12 years old and they're 25 now, fighting for racial equality now, and they were saying a whole bunch of crazy shit 10 to 15 years ago. It just seems like a really reductive way to look at people. And it goes back into his point, if that's what he was making, or somebody else earlier said about, oh, well, you haven't been perfect, so you can't ask for better from the world. Like, that's a really stupid point. Kanye's a terrible person to review. Also Fantano. Like, look at this shit. Look.
Great.
How old is he in this video? What, like 25? You think somebody will hold to the same, they would hold themselves to the same standard or something they said a 15 year or however long this was ago? This video is not even in 720. This is the highest quality of video that you could get for this time. That shows you when this video was made. I'm not saying that it was good that he reviewed them here. I'm just saying it's probably not good to maintain the position 10, 15 years later when you've come into contact with so much new information. It's the self-righteousness overtones on both sides that what? You think it's self-righteous to say that it's not good to co-sign Kanye's ideas, or it's something that prohibits me from listening to the music objectively? You could show me a clip of anybody. I don't like the political commentary space. You could show me a clip of Destiny from I don't know how long ago. You could show me a clip of him from 10 years ago, and I would be charitable to the idea that his views might not be the exact same as they were a decade ago. Like, that's any person. You show me somebody at 20 and then you show me them at 30, I'm going to assume that they're not the exact same person. If they are, I would say that that's bad.
Just referencing the drama outside the art. For me personally, and I want to make this perfectly clear, I don't want to hold anybody else to this standard that you must separate the art from the artist. I don't believe in that at all. I think you should be free to do whatever you want. If you want to boycott the art, sure, do that. I think it's cool. I think it comes from a good place, a moral place. But I just think it's unfair. It's unfair to like try to force that on other people, and unproductive to force that on other people.
But it's just arguing with other people and having
but nobody's forcing that. From what I've seen, people have said and made their opinion on the record known and have been attacked by people who disagree with them. Not that the people who refuse to listen to it, or the people who don't want to engage with it, or the people who don't think it's that great, or the people who have a stance against anti-Semitism, they're not going out of their way to talk to Kanye West fans. It's the other way around. Something that people have been saying is that people don't have time to care about the shit that Kanye is actually saying. They just want to listen to the music. But y'all can't also be the same people who claim to not have time enough to listen to the ideas that are within the music, and also be the same ones that are arguing and advocating for why Kanye West should be able to do whatever he wants against people that say, I think his ideas are harmful. How are you, in one breath, too busy to care about what he's talking about, but not busy enough to not argue with people online about those same things that you say you don't care about? I don't get that. Fake food with the 3 months, appreciate you. Like, I don't understand. Nobody's attacking you. Yeah, y'all are on completely different sides, or not on different sides of the internet, but y'all aren't even on the same side of things. I said that I wasn't going to talk about Kanye when niggas were literally in the chat. Y'all remember when we were there, when the album came out? I said I'm not going to listen to it. The whole stream, the entire stream. Listen to Kanye, 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 whole stream. I say I'm not listening to it. I post a video about it. Niggas attacking me for not listening to it. Niggas posted a TikTok about it. Niggas attacking me for not listening to it. How could you do this? Why would you do that? If I said I'm not listening and I gave my reason, why is that not good enough? I'm still being attacked. Not that it's that deep. I don't give a fuck. Y'all the ones that's up in arms about it. I don't give a shit. I'm not listening. I don't feel like I missed out on nothing. I also think that a reason to not listen to it is because of his ideas. That's me. Y'all are engaging with people who say that they won't listen, not the other way around. You're not being attacked because you are of the vocal majority that whatever Kanye says don't mean shit to you.
Opinions on the internet, forcing it on other people. Like, nobody outside of, like, you know, showing you their opinion on Twitter has any kind of mechanism to control the things that you say or listen to. Like, how is that making you do something that you don't want to do?
What? And nobody is even telling you that you can't listen to it. Even if someone told you that, you still can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to listen to some nigga who's telling me you can't listen to this record. If anything, that's going to force them to want to listen to it more because of contrarian shit, but...
That people shouldn't be sort of like forcing other people to, you know, what, not consume Kanye's music or whatever? Because he's saying...
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. I actually want to know this. I'm coming from a completely good place. Like, what do you think your role in this exactly? Like, what are you trying to achieve with your sort of like holding Kanye accountable and going super hard on him and his fans? What exactly are you trying to... Where are you trying to get to with that?
What? What is it? What is it? There's a point here. There don't even have to be a greater point. It's just I think he's wrong. Why does it have to be this deep? Why does it have to be this deep when it comes to Kanye fans? It's not that deep. I think the nigga wrong. His ideas are harmful. I don't think the music is nearly good enough as people are saying to justify those ideas. Why does it have to be deeper than that? He's saying you going so hard. You would say this about any person if you're regular and level-headed.
I think I'm just kind of explaining the futility of just making a normal Kanye review around this record, because
Okay,
think,
I and actually admire the fact that you called it unreviewable and you like didn't formally review the record. I admire that fact. I think that's great. I don't have a problem with that. But it's like besides that, there was a lot of like I saw you fighting on Twitter with with Kanye fans 24/7. Like it was incessant. It
Okay.
was to an extreme degree.
Okay. You take bigger issue with somebody arguing with people on Twitter about the things that Kanye said that are objectively worse than those same things that they were arguing about on Twitter. What were they calling him on his Twitter? Fentanyl, they were calling him melon or bald or whatever, and he was responding to niggas that were saying that probably. I don't know. You looked at that and you were like, no, this is really what's harming society right now. A nigga on the internet using the internet to respond to other niggas on the internet. Not the nigga that has almost global reach talking about anti-Semitic shit. This is where we're at right now. This is why these conversations don't go anywhere. Because this is your perspective. This is what you're upset about. You wanna police this and not the other shit. I don't get it. I can't take you serious. I can't. This is a conversation we just can't entertain.
And I think that was kind of unproductive and kind of ended up to more attention being created around the album, where people who maybe wouldn't have listened to the record were like, "Well, what is this drama?"
I'm not under any delusion that there's anything that I could do to bring Kanye any more or any less attention.
Okay, so what is you don't have so with you're just fighting.
He making it seem like he giving him free promo or some shit. Nigga, it's Kanye West.
It's fun for you. That's
well, I'm definitely calling it out, and I'm definitely pointing out that the well has been poisoned to the point where doing a normal review of his stuff is pretty much futile. The reason I was fighting with Kanye fans is because
we doing Elden Ring in 5 minutes. I can't take much more of this.
Which they think is Kanye bad. Can't review Kanye bad. When my actual argument is that his actions and his statements and his behavior have either solidified people against him or solidified the cult of fans around him to the point where you can't really have a level-headed discussion around him and his music without being called either biased or just being looked at by people who, rightly see what he's saying and doing as disgusting and thinking like, well, even if...
Nah, I got the video playing at multiple speed or like at double speed almost. He's not actually talking that fast.
It is good to an extent. I don't want to affiliate with it. I mean, you yourself said in your video that, personally, I mean, look, I think you've come across here, even though we disagree, as, somebody who's at least approachable to an extent. I think it was kind of beneath you in your video for you to kind of like, put that section in where you were like, well, I mean, I'll listen to the album because I'm not Jewish.
So Kanye and his fans can't be held accountable? Los, I think it's even worse than that. Nobody's even holding him accountable. Nobody's even holding him to any standard. Nobody's even saying what punishment Kanye West should even receive. Nobody's saying anything. They not even holding Kanye accountable. They just saying this is why I'm not going to listen. This is why I think it's bad. Kanye is not exempt from a negative review. Kanye is not exempt from an opinion of him that is negative. Niggas just can't say nothing about Kanye. No one can do anything to make Kanye West the billionaire accountable for shit. Nothing. Outside of a random Twitter user you might be adding back and forth, asking for a public apology to Jews, nobody's asking for him to be held accountable at all. I don't even know what accountability would look like for Ye in that format. I don't know. They're not asking for that. And they certainly aren't asking for his fans to be accountable for shit. Because what the fuck can y'all do?
It's not a big deal to me. I mean, I think that was kind of a super unflattering moment for you. And
yeah, I get what you were trying to say, but I wasn't necessarily talking. I mean, I was talking about myself, but I was talking about like the mentality. The point was like trying to show people the mentality of people who listen to the Kanye record. Like,
well, what I'm saying is like you understand yourself that there are people who see his comments and see the content of the record and would rightly be personally disgusted because of their Jewish background or whatever and would want to avoid it. Yeah. So anybody, like I said in my video, who comes from that background would rightly look at me even saying like, hey, there's some pretty decent stuff.
Ye gets the last laugh at the end of the day. Yes, that's what I want them to know. Ye is still on top. He still benefits the most. Why are they missing this? He's not hurting. He is fine.
But rightly, those people would see that
They
commentary.
acting like niggas is dragging him out of his mansion and beating him and stomping him or some shit like that. They preventing him from going to work or some shit. Nobody cares. I'm not saying nobody care, but like they can't do anything. Keep making it seem like Kanye just underwent some injustice.
Like, obviously, his commentary on my heritage and my faith are so disgusting that I wouldn't want to affiliate myself with it anyway. So it's like you.
So okay, let me just clarify. Are you just talking about yourself here?
Do you kind of understand how, you know, doing a normal review of this record kind of puts me in a position where I'm between two sides of people that don't really want to hear anything critical about it to begin with?
I like what you did. I'm not against what you did. I'm not like.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just asking you if you sort of understand why I would feel that way.
I understand why you feel that way. That's what I started off with. I understand why you feel the way you feel, and I think it's okay for you to feel the way you feel. The question is, how do we combat that? How do we combat this issue and like come to like, I don't know, a productive solution, like come to a compromise of sorts, and not just like continue.
He literally
bashing
has the #1 album. He's okay.
Yeah.
Shitting on like everybody who said anything positive about the record, and vice versa. Those people who, the Kanye fans, just shitting on you. You're a fucking idiot.
Bro, who cares? I feel like I'm just being introduced to somebody that's surprised at the way disagreements work between people that aren't face to face. Like, you are describing the internet, my boy. Like, I feel like you're this is the kid like looking at his parents argue for the first time. Mommy, daddy, don't say that. Don't say like. Trust me, from the Kanye perspective, and from the niggas who are critiquing Kanye, they throwing insults back and forth at one another. But I don't think it's deep enough for you to look at it like you fucking Ash Ketchum running in between all the Pokemon, about to take all the heat, telling everybody to stop. Niggas gonna get off their phone and they gonna stop having a conversation. It's never this serious. It's like not this deep. You like, how do we change the world over a Kanye album? Over this? Come on, man. What is this? Not to say why are you so invested or anything like that. It's okay to be invested. You know what's crazy? This nigga's green screen is so good. I didn't even peep his arm was cut off right here. This has been the greatest revelation of the night.
If all this Kanye stuff keeps up, I'm gonna have to handle it.
This has been the greatest. I didn't even peep. Like, it seems obvious when you look, but I didn't even fucking know that. That is impressive. I didn't peep that until just now. What the fuck?
You're not a good critic. Like,
I didn't even see his arm get cut off. I need the background.
It's both.
I need a
sides
background.
of the coin are unproductive. Even though one may be more morally correct than the other, both are unproductive and eventually lead to more polarization. And that's my issue with this.
I think you're just.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
The reason why I made the whole video and the approach I take usually with my videos is, even though obviously I haven't.
No, this is Jonathan Majors. Oh my God, he's Jonathan Majors. He's the hat. He's stopping the two schoolgirls from fighting. This is Jonathan Majors. I see
I'm
it.
not a fence-sitting centrist. I have a certain ideology and certain political opinions I hold. I always try meeting people in the middle, right? I want to approach my videos to a degree where like a Republican could watch it and look at it like, okay, this guy is not just like completely saying fuck you. He's actually made some good points. Maybe I should think about this a little bit, you know? And that's all I'm trying to do with my videos at the end of the day. Now, I can concede to the fact that a lot of my thumbnails and a lot of my titles are like inflammatory, like baity, disgusting to a degree. And yeah, that's unfortunate, but unfortunately that's the best
He said that's unfortunate that I do that.
way to drive people to my content. And I feel like my content being as nuanced and as unbiased and as good faith as it is, I don't have a problem with like baiting
You're being unbiased?
people into watching it when that might give them a more neutral perspective on things. Radicals from both sides. So that's
he's being unbiased.
Okay, I mean, I'm sorry to pop your bubble here a little bit, but I mean, I'm sorry, but you personally are not unbiased in any sense.
I'm saying
you're not presenting an unbiased perspective.
What the fuck was this?
Okay, I take that back. I can see that.
That's not the case. And
how do you backtrack that though? I'm not saying he's right, but how does a nigga tell you no, you're wrong, and then you immediately concede? Like, why are you debating this point if like?
What you even expressed
bro.
just now is a bias of sorts, because the thing is,
Nigga said, "No, I'm unbiased." No, you're not. Yeah, you're right. Like what?
I take that back. I'm not unbiased. I'm not unbiased.
Okay.
Sorry to say that.
But let me finish my point. I let you finish yours.
Okay.
Even embracing centrism for centrism's sake is a bias of sorts. Just because you're landing in the middle of 2 points doesn't mean you're unbiased or that it's effectively the best option in that scenario. I mean, when you're between the polar opposite positions of we should have segregation and we should allow everybody and anybody to sort of live freely in modern society, we don't try to land somewhere in the middle of those 2 points because it makes us feel good and fuzzy inside, because we're like, well, I'm reasonable and I see the points of both sides. No, the correct position is we allow people to be free. Like, that's the correct position. Like, there are points where centrism doesn't make sense. I understand.
I'm not saying I'm a centrist. The way I'm approaching it is from a place of understanding and trying to reach every side of the spectrum. And I think that's
what it's. Bruh, you see what I'm saying? You can give a nigga the direct definition of what they doing, and they gonna give you the definition again verbatim, and then say no, that's not what it is. That is what you're doing. Understanding would be unbiasedly looking at the situation and saying, at the core of this entire argument, what Kanye West is saying is wrong. It's not even about what side you would be on traditionally. It's just, this is right and this is wrong. That would be unbiased. What are you talking about? You want everybody to feel good because it means something for your content. It attracts multiple groups of people. You just said it yourself. It's more of a salacious thing, more of a premeditated, I'm going to get people invested in this more than it is I want people to fully understand everything. It's a bigger benefit to you if you don't take a strong position. That's what centrists do. How are you missing it?
A lot more productive than just sticking to your side and condemning everybody who's like a little bit more close.
What I'm saying is, like, on a case-by-case basis, there are some positions and points of view that point blank period are condemnable. And you don't need to sort of like see their point. And again, I'm not saying that's always the case for everything all the time. I'm just saying, especially in this case.
You're right. It's been 5 minutes. It's over. It's been 5 minutes. I can't take it anymore. I don't want to talk about Kanye ever again. Like, at least for like 3 months, bro. Please. Like, this is just, it never goes anywhere, bro. Where's Elden Ring? Where's my controller? Chat, I streamed for 4 hours straight, right? Didn't feel any fatigue off the back of 5 hours of sleep. Felt no fatigue. Only after I watched this video do I feel exhausted.
Top 3 album.
That says a lot. Only after this shit am I tired.